last month, we had a very good turnout, and this was short notice, and I keep on telling you that I was under the weather, and I was never able to call you with a lot ahead of time, and I'm still with bronchitis, so just bear with me, but we have a lot on the agenda we want to talk about. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Bauer. I'm glad that you all are here. Today is our second meeting that we have for SHAC, and let's go with the announcements. I know, Ms. Moraida, you have some information you want to share? Yes. You want to share with us on our families?
Yes.
All this stuff that we discussed, I then meet with Mrs. Torres and with the cabinet, and we go and we execute and we see how to implement it in the school district.
Yes, please.
Can we have two more? One more? Okay, Ms. Moraida, the floor is yours.
All right, so I'm just going to take a very brief moment of your time. So I am with Cameron County Health Department, and in these folders I do have some general information on the different services and programs that we do offer, especially for those who are underinsured or who have no insurance. So if you do know anyone in the community that you would like to pass off this information to, please share it. So in the, and I want to say it's going to be on the right side, that's all of the clinical information and the programs, as well as where the clinical locations are, phone numbers, addresses, so that way we know anyone, not only in La Feria, but Brownsville, PI, we have a clinic over in Puerto Rico, as well as San Bernardino. Now, the most important factor, as still all of the information is very important, one problem that we're noticing among students is a problem with the MTRAC consent forms. So MTRAC is the immunization registry, where we're noticing students who are graduating from high school and later on they decide they want to go to college, nursing school. They'll call us and say, hey, I need a copy of my immunization records because they're asking for it. So we'll look them up in the system, but we won't find them. This is because they themselves, the students, have not signed these adult consent forms and have not been sent to MTRAC. So they have up until 26 years old to sign this adult consent form. And there's 3 options. So we're in contact with the school nurse here. So they can always turn it into the school nurse. They themselves can drop it off at the health department and we can send that out. So those are just 2 options. That way we, as the school or as the health department, can take care of that. So that way we can send it off to the state. Now, let's say worst comes to worst, we don't find it and they're past 26 years old. The best recommendation that we give to them is to follow up with their healthcare providers and see about their previous vaccine records, because that's the best location that they could have received them. Now let's say that the providers have not been updating, because we've also noticed that's a problem. We understand clinics get very busy, they're not updating the vaccine records on time, so we're also pressing parents, family members to say, hey, can you just make sure that my kid has been entered onto MTRAC and all their vaccine records are up to date. You can always ask them for a copy of your records, as well as a school nurse, so they are more than welcome to provide you school record vaccines, so that way you are aware, as well as the MTRAC consent form.
So now, when can they start signing this? At the age of 18?
Yes, so at the age of 18, when they themselves become 18, this is the adult consent form. So I know as parents, you've already taken care of the minor consent form, great, right? But now it's their duty to keep these records forever. Now let's say the best part about MTRAC, because I know we have like the paper record where we keep all our written, that's great, right? But after holding it so many times, you're kind of like opening it and you're like, what vaccine was this again? Or you put it somewhere and then you forget where you put it. So the greatest part about this registry is that once you are entered into the database and you have signed the adult consent form, it's there for the rest of your life. Let's say you leave the Rio Grande Valley and move up to Austin, Dallas, it stays in the Texas Immunization Registry. So just a few of the benefits in regards to these consent forms. And I know it's a lot of information, so please let me know if you have any
I
questions.
have a question.
Yes.
Both of my boys were born in October, and they had their annual physical
Yes.
for October. And I always, I'm up to date with their vaccines. But now and then, especially during the COVID, we weren't allowed to go, to the doctor for that whole year.
Yes.
And I asked, as they come in and they do their vital checks and stuff like that, I asked them, are there any vaccines that need to be, given to them, right? And they're like, do you have your record, your old copy? And I always have to tell them, like, they're registered through the NTRAC. Can you check, and if you administer one, can you make sure that it's there? How do I know as a parent or as a patient that the facility, the clinic is actually following through the Texas, because I get upset when they don't do that, and I have to go to the medical records, pull it out, or check, and myself have to submit that to to you guys.
Yes.
So, because I want it to be registered for them in case, I'm not here no longer and they have to go off to college and do it on their own.
Right.
They know how to go through all that.
So all Texas providers in the state of Texas are legally obligated to have an NTRAC consent form. So they have to have the minors entered into NTRAC. Now, just as you did, that is perfect, because some providers, and we're noticing that, are not adding these clients into it. So the best thing that I can have you do is, you already have both the minor and the adult consent forms in these folders. If you're unsure, it kind of makes you uneasy, like, is my child in there, is it not? You can always sign one of these, and like I said, you can leave it with the school nurse, or you can always drop it off at the health parent. Even if they're minors, we can always send those in. And also, if you're also worried about their vaccines, their actual vaccines not being in the NTRAC, you can always bring their records to the health department, and we ourselves can enter them into the database.
I know that you can also call and set up a whole profile where you can log into NTRAC as a parent.
Yes.
So that's also, you as a parent can go online, set up your account, get all that information. Once you get it started, it's there, boom, 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 every single one. So you can always monitor that with your own username and login. And the cool thing is that when you have multiple children, like because you're crazy and decided to have like a bajillion of them, they're all there like under profile. So you can always print that out and give it to the school. I do have a question as far as like the adult consent. I know that we have the innovative days. I think one of the good things that we could do is have like a college readiness day. And this could be something to a provider, and I know as a personal story, when I went back for my PhD, I needed my TB test. It was so much fun tracking that down, and then to realize that it doesn't exist, and then I had to get the test, it came back positive, and I had to run another test, and then I run a chest x-ray. It took about 4 weeks, and I had a hold on my account and couldn't start school. So we can, tell that to our students, hey, this is really important that you fill it out because it's good for occupational, it's good for military, it's good for college, whatever the pathway is. We could always have a college readiness day. You can come and speak to them, that's just a thought.
Would this be something, I'm sorry, ma'am, would this be something for like only 18-year-olds?
Yes, like seniors. So,
Some seniors are 17, would they be able to still take?
Getting the information out there, I would target the juniors and seniors, because just to kind of get that information and they can start planning, because they are going to need a lot of those vaccines to start, courses, and especially if they're going, but even the military as well. The military is a little bit better because they kind of set you up if you don't have it.
Okay.
However, you still need to show that NTRAC record.
Okay.
So, it's just kind of the target.
Yes,
And
and not very many individuals do know about this.
Yeah.
So that's why we have been in contact with school nurses all over the district. And because we haven't noticed such a great feedback of receiving these, like you said, we're now starting to move into the college and career readiness. So
Do the student health services at universities also provide these, or we haven't targeted that?
That's our question. We have not, yes. But that is a great point. Like, hopefully through future, yes.
Ma'am, one of the things I was talking to Ms. Flores is our college and career readiness director, Ms. Linda, she's starting to initiate this. Yes. So what we're gonna do is maybe we'll meet with her and say like, okay, what is our percentage right now? What can we do at mid-year? What can we do at the end of the year? So that we are 17 and 18-year-olds can already have this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And I did just want to bring up, in case anything else kind of like flies, there is a phone number on the bottom of this if you do have any questions regarding NTRAC on both the adult and the minor consent form. So they're more than welcome to answer any questions that you might have if your child is on NTRAC. So this is also an available resource. Okay, you're very welcome.
That's good.
So we could ask for it for ourselves as well?
Yes, yes, you can. If they are a minor, you can. Now, if they have signed it as an adult, that kind of changes the story.
No, but I meant like for us. If like my son, when he's already 18 and I have already the 24, 25, 27-year-olds, they kind of like to ask for it.
Right, they can ask for it.
But me, myself, can I ask for one for myself as well?
Yes, you can. Now, that's the thing. So what I was explaining to them is if they have not signed one of these, the adult consent forms, by 26 years old, the chances are that they're representing the legal. So it's always a great opportunity to check. So like I said, if you want, you can always call and check. You can always have us check the database. We're with the health department or even the school nurse. Because I think they're legally required to keep records for 5 years.
Yeah, but I remember one year, one of my sons needed it, that nurse did that, but when my sister was asking me, what website, I know there's a website, I will meet you, but I don't know which one it is.
And you can always go, there's also a website here to just check and see who contacted different resources. No, it's a lot. Any other questions?
No, I really like it because I think we're aligned. We're not there yet, but we're getting to be aligned, and then I like this Bauer's idea.
I like when Bauer's idea.
Yeah.
She picked it with the, I already called it.
Yeah.
And then it was like, wow.
Yeah, and just to kind of go over what's on the left-hand side, the salute. So I do volunteer and teach step aerobics here in Lafayette. We also have an amazing, a lot more programs. And they've added actually like a 5:30 a.m. class, a strength class. It's not here on this calendar, but we just added this like a week ago. But also the hard machine classes are just as amazing. I also teach a spin class. I'm gonna get your perspective on.
Look at that.
Yeah. So maybe for the end of the year, we all have
Whatever you need, I'm here to help.
Ms. Morales, is that all for you?
Yes, ma'am, that's
And then you brought us some information on the diabetes.
yes, just general, I know it's Diabetes Awareness Month, so on the left-hand side is just general physical, nutritional, and resources to provide both.
And like I said, these are just, we'll meet with Mrs. Torres, our superintendent, our cabinet, and then we'll go over the recommendations. And I'll let her know that we're somewhat in line with what's out there in the community for our students.
That's perfect. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Sharing that. Okay, the next one is our November diabetes walk that we decided to do. We are all looking forward to it on the 29th. It's going to be at the Lions Stadium from 5:30 to 7:30. Everybody is wearing blue. And Ms. Laredo, this is your big kickoff thing here. What are you doing?
So we've been very busy, even our nurse and you guys, she got a hold of Dr. Sanchez, and they're going to be providing with glucose checks, which is awesome, and they're very expensive. That's why we couldn't do it here with school, but we're so blessed to have here Maria Sanchez, and they're going to be providing that glucose checks. We have a lot of people coming also. Unidos contra la Diabetes, they're going to be here too, and they are bringing a lot of good stuff for the community. I think I got a hold of Robert Gomez. I think he works there, but he has said yes, but then I think they're not going to be able to come up with
Well, I would be more than happy to step in, so like we'll be in
Can you ask, because I think he spoke to the director or somebody, and they said maybe until January. So I was going to ask you right now.
Yes, no, I'll be in contact with you.
So then, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to get other sponsors, and I don't want to, this is not the final flyer, because I'm sure we're getting more sponsors. And I want to add all the sponsors there, the ones that are going to be having a table. And we have, like the people that have been coming here for a Wellness Wednesday, so they'll be there too. They're providing you with some information. Johnny Leones, talking about 2, Simply Fit Nutrition, which is the Herbalife. So they'll be giving out like little samples of what they have there. It's in Texas. Tanya, she's not here today. She's a little bit sick, but they will be there as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, we're also going to be having Zumba for 1 hour, so it will be like a little Zumba-thon. So we'll be having like different instructors there.
So you're having it in the middle of the field while everybody's walking?
Yes, the Zumba is going to be in the middle, and everybody can be walking. We spoke to Ms. Torres yesterday, and they said that maybe we can do the same thing as with the college interview that we have there. That we can kind of put the tables on the side.
And you have music, right? Because you can't walk without music.
Yes, we used it. Yes, we're asking about a big speaker for the Zumba. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So everybody's welcome. You know, as soon as this is done, then we'll be passing out the flyers. Well, I'm gonna go to the community or the businesses and putting these there on the windows, so that we can have people there. If it rains, then we're gonna probably have to. We can't get into the gym because there's a game going on that day. But if it rains or something, then we'll just have to do it for another day.
I hadn't thought about the weather.
It says here, races begin at 6 and are by grade level.
Yes, so that one is going to be done by Coach Bravo. He's our coach there at San Houston. And we've done something like this before at San Houston, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We had like a mini wellness fair there. And so what they did was like they ran like for a mile, and it was for diabetes. So that's what we're trying to do with the, you know, from pre-K. I think we're going to combine pre-K, first and second, third and fourth, like by twos.
Okay.
And then
For every school?
for everybody, yeah, whoever wants to participate, all the way to high school.
Okay, so but that's the day they're going to register that same day?
That same day, they're going to go register. They'll be there, you know, they'll do the registration, and then they'll run. And we're going to be, you know, kind of do like a ribbons for first, second, third, and then.
Okay, yeah, because I saw it in like beautiful cake, so I guess it would be.
I would like
Maybe a mile, or maybe it'll be less, because I'm not going to have that much fun for a mile. I don't know, it's not going to be a mile for the little ones. Maybe like a rear dash or.
I would like to take a group picture of the SHAC that day, so let's all make sure that we wear blue and we show that.
Maybe what we can do.
And that don't raise. We'll talk to them. I like that.
Yes, so any questions?
I like that you have, for all the grade levels, like, I know that he won't walk with me, he'll get tired right away, and he will gravitate where the kids are at, so I think that's awesome that you have. And like, I'm into Zumba, but I'm into like other, like, fit, like weights or something else, so it's good that you have a little bit of, for everybody.
For everybody, for adults, we want the participation from the students, you know, and then to make them aware that we need to take care of ourselves. Because diabetes is for all ages, it's not just adults, it's everybody.
Everybody, they gotta take
care of ourselves.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ms. Loretta. One of the things that we are, last month, we talked about how we train our staff on safety, on wellness, and we have a program that we use with Eduhero, and they provide a lot of training. One of the trainings that we will be adding to our staff this coming month will be, they'll have to take a training called Title IX, and this has to do with sexual harassment. This is very important. This is something that, unfortunately, we don't like to talk about it, but it's out there. We like to say that it's out in other districts, right? But it happens. So we just need to protect our staff, protect our students. So we just want to make sure that everybody in our school district is going to be certified, not certified, but trained in Title IX. We had only administrators, but now we feel that it is needed throughout the whole district. So we'll be pushing that. Our teachers will be getting trained on Title IX. And I'm your Title IX coordinator, just another title. Child Nutrition Services. I know Tanya from Texas is going to be working with Mrs. Casas on the application and getting all the documentation information, because we want to show to the community that we do follow the guidelines. And you know, and I've had a lot of conversations with Ms. Casas, like, Ms. Casas, you know, she's like, really, it follows the guidelines, right? And I'm like, yeah, but let's look at this food other, let's look at this other food ingredient, or let's look at this. So she teaches me a lot about what is the requirement, and I'm more like, oh, but it doesn't look good. Or, or just look at it this way. So we, both of us work together to are working together to help improve our nutrition services. So as you know, this past week was chicken, last week was
Chicken sandwiches.
Tuesday was chicken sandwiches, and the kids loved it. Some kids didn't get it, some kids got, what was it,
Well, we have hot pockets at the, I think, and then high school has a lot of different options, so they had other options.
but I saw that the kids really enjoyed the chicken sandwiches. But one of the things that I want to show is applying for the America's Healthiest Schools. If other schools district do it, why can't we do it? Right? If we need to straighten our guidelines a little bit more or be a little more rigid, then we'll do it. But we got to make sure that we are promoting the healthiest school. So we're going to start working with It's Time Texas. Our application opens in January and we have to submit by April. It's not a one-page application. It's like a 50-page application.
Well, after going over it, my first time going through the annual application, so we're only applying for the word that's for us for food service, it's not as long as we thought.
Oh, okay.
So that's the ones that we're gonna work on. And then everyone else could also apply for it, like the nursing, the schools. So there's a lot of different awards that everyone can get.
Okay.
So.
But I think this is a start that we can do as our district for American Healthiest Schools and show them that we are on the right track to keeping our schools healthy. The next one is family engagement. I want to just let you know that Mrs. Laredo does a really good job throughout the district and reaching out to our families. She's really targeted this past 2 months on family engagement, food, what is it, Mrs. Laredo,
The Wellness Wednesday.
Wellness Wednesday, the classes, and 146 parents for kids coming in, not kids coming in, parents coming in and wanting to learn more about nutrition. And I wish sometimes that they could be offering that maybe, just because, but no, I'm not going to go there.
And that was just part 1, because we're going to have part 2 and part 3. So at the bottom, you can see the dates right there. Yesterday was Wednesday, we just finished our part 1, and we had a total of 146 parents.
So if you have ideas that you would like Mrs. Laredo to explore when it comes to family and community, she is so open for your ideas. Sometimes she'll call us right and I don't know, that's your job. I don't know anything about families and stuff, but she does, and she comes up with it. So if you have an idea you would like for her to explore, let us know. I mean, she goes with that idea and she runs with it. So, Ms. Laredo,
Can I just share something really quick?
Sure.
So, I have volunteers helping with those packets that we're going to be giving out to the kids from pre-K through to first grade. We're going to be having a literacy night next Thursday at Sanchez. So we're getting ready for that. So one of the volunteers said, Ms. Loredo, I brought you some donations for you. I was like, great. So I started, this is great stuff for the summer bash, which is a lot of stuff for the floaties and things for the pool, right? And she's like, yeah, they're having 90% off at the dollar store. I was like, what? I'm going. So I went before the meeting. I went on there and I got everything from there. Paid $27 and I got a lot of stuff. So my husband is working in corporate. Go to the dollar stores and get me everything that you sent before. He's sending pictures right now. He's full of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. And I was like, I'm getting ready for summer bash because I can't wait. I love the kids. I love my students, and I love always to, there's any things that I can get for them. I'll buy them. I don't care. And then so it's like, just send me the receipt. I am not going to send you the receipt because this is something that I wanted to do. But I'm already getting ready for that. We're always going to do more. We're just finishing up with the literacy nights. That we're having this semester, and we're already getting ready for the next semester. The volunteers are awesome. And they are every day they're cutting and they're putting things together. So we're yes, I mean, she doesn't want to volunteer and take stuff home, and I'm so blessed to have you guys.
And I want to add on to Ms. Loredo. I attended the literacy nights with in his kindergarten.
See them.
And it was really nice to see the engagement with other parents in the classroom. And actually actually see the teacher be excited and see how it was beautiful. And the little, they give the kids literacy packets, and then you have the parents and some of the professionals, Ms. Guevara, she's the teacher, right?
Yes.
Explain to the parents, like, fun ways to continue that literacy at home. And it was beautiful to see other parents in the classmates, not only their peers, their classmates, but to see, oh, that's so-and-so's son knows Christian. And it was beautiful because that's the way community engagement is. You get to know the other parents, you get to have that bond. And I like that 146, it's just the beginning. I think it's gonna slowly increase.
And these are your learning classes.
That is just the nutrition classes.
Yeah.
Because I sent the report to Ms. Torres and we were like, wow, we have like 600 some parents.
649.
649, for all the other meetings that we had.
I think this guy's gonna be excited because
Yeah.
that's what we want to see an increase. We know that it takes time to get involved and stuff like that, so we want to see that number more engaged. So, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And before you, ma'am, you're not off the The Parent Annual Family Conference is tentatively scheduled for January, am I correct, Mr. Flores? We still don't know what our theme is or what we're going to be doing, but I can see a lot of valuable resources in all of you all that can help us out and helping us out with the family, the Parent Annual Family Conference. We do want to meet prior to this so that we can help Mrs. Laredo come up with ideas and how to engage our families into this conference. Okay?
One thing, have the parent and teacher organizations, have they started already? Because I haven't seen anything out in the district, like that parent, the meetings,
Oh,
the PTO.
I don't think the elementary are starting. We can ask them.
we'll find out. Okay. One of the things that I do want to talk to you about is child abuse prevention. One of the requirements is that we make sure that our teachers are trained on identifying child abuse and also make sure that we have policies and information updated for child abuse. We're also making sure that one of the requirements is that we put a poster up. So when you start walking to your campuses, or throughout the district, you're going to see these kind of posters in English and in Spanish, and it's okay to tell if someone hurts you. Say no, go to a safe place, tell and trust adults. These are going to be all over our district, okay? So this is child abuse prevention. Also, one of the things that we don't like to talk about, but it does happen, is human trafficking. This is a state requirement, a state educational requirement. We need to post these and look how specific the state has made us, where they want us to post them. Parallel to and along exterior boundaries of the school premises, at each roadway or way of access to premises, and it's every 500 feet along the exterior boundary. All these kind of rules, you're going to see these posters as well. Stop human trafficking. And that's pretty sad that we're having to do this. And it's going to be in English and Spanish, so you'll see these posters everywhere throughout our district. But we've got to notify our staff, our children, that, it's okay, that, they need to reach out to us if they are feeling unsafe. The other thing that we want to share with you that we're wanting to do, and for you all that are the voice of the community, is talk about drug awareness, student presentations. As you all know, fentanyl is an invisible killer. And it hasn't come down, that we have heard here in South Texas a lot, but we're getting ready. So we're going to start having conversations with our students. I'm sure that, you've heard, that kids do this and kids do that over here, they got caught here. When we say and we take the pledge that we are a drug-free zone district, we are going to be a drug-free zone and we're going to promote it and push it. So we are going to start having these conversations with these students. And one of the things that bounced off some of our ideas was, let's have a presentation for all high school students. Not all at once, because they're not going to listen to us, but maybe like grade levels, and say, if you have this, if you get arrested, or if you get caught with this drug, or with this amount of drug, these are your consequences. You will go to JJP, or or you will be arrested, or whatever the consequence it is. But we have to have a uniform conversation so these kids can be alert and say, oh no, nefarious means business. So we're going to be having those conversations. I'll be working with administrators in developing a PowerPoint presentation so they can have those talks with our high school students, our junior high, and unfortunately our elementary as well. And we're going to talk to them about this drug. We're going to show them, and as parents, community, did you know that when you see these kind of emojis on text messages mean drugs? I didn't know that. You know, look at what it means, dealer advertising. If you see the dollar sign with the crown and the money bag and the plug-in, that means that it's a dealer signal. So those are things that we have to want to inform our community, you all as parents as well. So not only are we going to have discussions with our students, we're going to have them with you all as well, because it is serious. So this is something that we're going to be pushing, and we want to push it through SHAC as well, so that we can reach out to these families. And Ms. Laredo can help us out.
With parties, because a lot of times they go, I'm going to a farm party. It's like, you're not going to the ranch to go see the farm, it's drugs.
So yeah, one of the things to add on that, fentanyl is a legal prescription, so parents do need to be informed that when they are prescribed fentanyl, like they've had surgery or, for whatever reason they've been prescribed fentanyl or the generic form, that's how it gets into the hands of students. But secondly, another problem that we see in the public health community is THC pens. So they see it more in El Paso. It's more a predominant problem in El Paso, but it will make its way down here to the Rio Grande Valley at some point if it hasn't already, is that students are getting caught with THC pens. And they don't think it's a big deal because they'll get suspended, they'll go to DAP or whatever. However, when you have a drug charge, you forfeit your right for scholarships and loans.
See, and Ms. Bauer, you nailed it, because we are running into this situation, and we are addressing it, and they're saying it's just it's a little bit of THC, it's a THC.
And it wasn't a problem until the influential kids in El Paso, since they're so close to the New Mexico, and they legalized THC, they're seeing it come over, and now the influential kids, the rich kids, now they're not being able to go to school, they're not able to claim their scholarships. So when we start seeing that, that's when it becomes an issue.
To me, it's interesting, Ms. Bauer, you said that because, why are these, these kids have a future. I'm pretty sure that their grades are, they know better. They know how, and so, as a district, with the mental wellness and the economy, we need to also, as a SHAC, look a little bit deeper because, obviously, what is the purpose of selling this? What is it's not too harmful. They're getting money for distributing, and it's a felony. So I'm wondering, as a parent and part of the district, what is the cause of it? Like, are they trying to purchase new shoes? I know that back in the day, what's the root cause of it? And sometimes we need to, even though this is awesome, this is great, we need to get this information out, but how do we also help a little bit, go that extra mile and try to, know what's the root cause of it? Like, is it in our community? Why is it in our community? Because, we don't want it to become bigger than we can handle. And we need the support of the city. We need to work with the city. We need to get our police department, and I know they're doing a great job. I've seen them around and everything, but we need to be more involved. Not us, but
I think, ma'am, if we inform our community more, they become more informed and they know now what to look for with their kids. And this is why I really want to push these community presentations through the SHAC. Is there a we can look at?
Because I know that and also I think a teacher took it away from a child because they're making it look like it's like candy. Like
there's a good informational for teachers. I remember they showed this video of how to recognize that because the industry is now selling it, targeting to kids. So they're putting it in like hoodies. They're putting
But the teacher could die just by touching it, is what I understood. And that's scary, so as teachers are walking and they notice something, that the training or whatever we need to, I don't want none of our teachers to have some sort of reaction to it, and they know what it is, how to hold it, how to, remove it, because that's another.
And understand, that because a lot of people think that drugs, okay, the marijuana, the cocaine and stuff, but drugs is also the medicine, and how they contribute, because I went to a parent meeting in Bronx because I had my nephew over there, and I was over there, so my sister invited me just to a parent meeting, and it was I think in October for the drug awareness. And it's a USB. They had drugs in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's different than Mexico, so you have to be careful. Now, what is this? Because no, it's a USB for the computer, okay. But if they don't really look for it, it's that drug is in there.
So a lot of times they're going to the bathroom with this USB or this pen, and they're going to the bathroom, taking a couple hits.
I know that I saw on TV long time ago, they were even in with the drugs, with putting eye drops, or even in the tablets. They would put alcohol in there and everything.
It's really scary because I But, so this is what we want to do. Are you all in agreement with this? That we push a lot of, even though drug awareness is over with in October, drugs are never over with, unfortunately, we can promote this. Are we okay with that? Okay, the next one is physical fitness. And Ms. Campos, Coach Campos wasn't here last month because she was taking her girls out to area regionals, or was it just staying around?
It was a mistake.
Well, just staying around. Well, congratulations. And we just touched base with SHAC on what we're doing in physical, in the area of PE. What are we doing for elementary and secondary?
Basically, what we do is the requirements for elementary and secondary are different. For when the state says they have fallen into the healthy zone for the elementary students and versus the secondary students. So we do have a chart that we follow, and they're basically tested on flexibility. They're tested on endurance, which is your mile, that we really like to talk about. They're tested on strength, which would be like your punches and your push-ups and all that stuff. And then we do the flexibility, the trunk lift, and we do the shoulders. Those are the things that the state says that would identify a healthy individual at the elementary or the secondary. You go by age, you go by weight, and their body mass index. And then you document all that, and you send the data to the state, and then they send us a report of where our students, where actually they fall, were they in the healthy zone or they're not in the healthy zone. But basically, when we bring students in, I know I've talked to the coaches and the PE teachers, and we realize that because of the past 2 or 3 years, the students maybe are not as active. So we are doing like a progressive kind of a program to get them to that point, and then we're testing them. So I know we've already done some testing, and then we do the pre and then the test afterwards or whatever. But we're always testing the students and making them feel like it's going to be part of, like what y'all stated, it's part of their life, part of their life, knowing that the diseases that we can hopefully prevent from being active, and for them to feel able to do the things that we need to do on a daily basis, which is get up from a chair, squat down, lift, those little things, and also especially our heart. So those are the things that we target. But yeah, there are different charts for the grade levels.
So I have a question for you, ma'am. One of the concerns, or one of the questions that was brought up was, is there any American Heart Association programs that we can get into to promote some of this health, safety, health awareness that we do for elementary? Do we do this stuff in elementary and secondary?
American Heart Association, there's a lot of different websites that we could go and get our information from. We also, at the high school, we basically focus on try to get into our teaks and follow all that, because we also have to follow that. But yeah, we've used those websites before and got information from them before.
I know that at our first meeting, which was last month, they brought that up.
Okay.
So is it something that we wanna,
You can look into jump rope for hearts.
There you go.
Yeah, that's another one,
Because
the
I
jump
remember
rope
my
part,
kids,
yeah.
that's my older kids, they would do that. You know, they would give them an envelope or, you know, give them money.
and is it per, yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am, is it per month? Or is it a certain month that we do that, or is it a month that we just pick? Do you remember?
It's a certain month when it's,
promote it?
heart disease, it's heart disease month. I want to say it's February because it's Valentine's Day. Or Valentine, it's February, so they'll really be pushing it in February for jump rope for hearts to raise awareness for cardiovascular and CVD disease. So that's typically when they do it.
Is this something that the SHAC would like to promote?
As long as you have the collaboration throughout the district, it's really targeted for the lower level.
Okay.
But it's still really good to incorporate to all of your physical education classes. The thing about FitnessGram, it's it's TEA run. I do think it's an okay program, but we need to stress to the students that this is just a formative assessment. When I used to implement it, I would use it as a pre and a post to kind of help the students set goals. Goal settings are very important, so you take a pre-assessment and say, okay, pick from one of the skills or the health-related fitness components, whether it's flexibility. You know what? Hey, I couldn't do my zipper test on my left-hand side. That's what I want to target. Or, you know, maybe it's I want to do more muscular endurance for more sit-ups or more push-ups. Whatever it is, they can set that goal at the beginning of the semester and then do a post-assessment at the end. And the fitness ground is usually to measure how, quote, healthy the school is, but body mass index doesn't give you it doesn't tell you, so I feel like it sets the students up for failure. A lot of the times they think that health is a measurement, or weight is a measurement of health, and it's not. And then also when you collect it, there's a lot of errors, but you can also implement a written exam. Why is mile a sufficient test for cardiovascular fitness, or and it'll need critiques, but TA refuses to incorporate that into their fitness. That's a personal argument I have with Mr. William Armitage.
I like the goal setting that she
And exactly what she's saying, it is true, but I mean, I think it's the presentation of when you speak to the students about the fitness program, because one, that is one of our requirements that we have to actually complete. So as the district, we must do that. So then at the end of the day, it's how we present the fitness program to the students. We want to know where we're at, because if we don't gather data, even if we didn't have the fitness program, we used to do this before fitness program was, we used to have the presidential, it was the presidential
fitness challenge.
That was.
You can still use it, but you don't really. And they used to get the medal, certificate.
So again, programs are great, and I've been doing this for a while, but it's the presentation, and it's in what you're going to get across to the student. So yes, this is what we have to do, but, so when you're coming in, where are you at? Which is, we're gonna start off, so we do, like I already have data for my students, and so then we continue with it, and then I tell them, before we get out for the holidays, we will do another one. And so actually, we gather data for about 4 different times throughout the year. But I don't believe it's just the data, I believe it's what are we doing once we get the data, and what are we doing between the data when we're gathering this. So, and I will speak for our high school because I'm there on a daily basis. Coach Sanchez and I, we actually purchased this year some spots, for lack of a better word, and they're like aerobics. It shows you we have up to 12 stations. We have a strength circuit. We have a yoga circuit. So in all those, and yoga works on your flexibility, the strength works on the push-ups and the ab, and then we have our cardio, which is going to work hopefully in improving. So at the same time, yes, we're trying to get the data, and yes, at the high school, the kids are high school kids. They're no longer elementary kids, and the little activities that the elementary kids are super excited about, our high school kids, so we have to try to camouflage a lot of our activities so they can get these requirements that they're gonna need in order to be healthy. So, and we do a lot of, to go on the track, you're doing your jog walk, and you're doing your, like, okay, we're gonna just enjoy, we're doing a 20-25 minute walk, period. You've gotta get it in, and they do. And so, you also have to go and try and also look for differences in students, because I might be able to do a 10-minute walk while somebody's not gonna be able to, like Ms. Martinez has stated, her child starts and he gets, a little exhausted at the beginning. So those are the things that we look for. So yes, we would like to gather all the data, and we do, because that's requirements, but we look at different, because I know somebody mentioned about the mental health. So those are the other things that we also have to look at, because all of that is incorporated into the physical fitness. It's just not the fitness grant,
What about do the special need kids, the special population, the special education kids that are mainstream?
Yes.
They also get those?
Oh, yes, they come to my class. They come to our
Actually, the students that are mainstream, they go with their coaches that are.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, they come to our classes. We have them in classes.
But your students that are in life skills, and a restricted setting, I think they're assigned to Mrs. Campos, so she takes a hold of them.
Yeah, she does. I do, and Coach Sanchez also gets the students. So yeah, no, they come to our classes.
One of the things that they mentioned last month was just to be promoted, and maybe we can look at the Jump for Heart and Jump for, and then maybe you can send us some video or little video clip here and there of what y'all are doing at the high school, just to promote the physical stuff. Any other questions on the physical part? No? Any new business that y'all like to discuss for next SHAC meeting?
I know it's not here, but I know It's Time Texas has a community challenge every January. And McAllen, so they base it down on like population. Basically, you get a lot of your community members, your schools, McAllen wins all the time, and they get like an award, but also I want to say like $1,000 to $5,000. And they break it down by large community, medium community. They also break it down by organizations and businesses. So that starts in January. What I saw implemented in Harlingen at the school district there is to get your staff members involved. Your professional development that first day, one of their activities is to sign up, and it's by points. And it's an app. You go onto your phone and you log your whatever health behavior it is, whether it's drinking water, whether it's eating a healthy nutritional snack, or whether it's exercising. And you can accumulate points individually, as a community, and also as a business. And at the end of the, I want to say it's 8 weeks, because it ends at the end of February. They give out awards and prizes, and you can actually see the leaderboard.
Is it a 1 month challenge, ma'am, for the district?
It's a one person, it's a group,
But is it for 1 month only?
Yes, it's 8 minutes.
We talked about it last month, you want to do it, time check.
I think one of the things that we also have to get on board is the city. We need to extend the olive branch to our city leaders, and come together because we're a community, and that we can get our local businesses and just as a whole really show not only Rio Grande Valley, but also the state, hey, Lafayette means business when it comes to wellness.
So we do have some city members that are here. I know you work with the city as well, right? Or not
Chamber.
The chamber. And ma'am, you've got some connection there where we can bring in, we've got Ms. Durán and all those. But also, she's talking about city leaders.
Like commissioners, mayor, city manager.
Last week on Friday, we had a workshop for the paraprofessionals, and Tanya was going to talk about that self-care workshop that we had, and also she mentioned about that, and we already had some staff members that are going to be part of it. They're called champion something.
Okay. Yeah, in Harlingen they call them High to Thrive liaisons. So every campus had like a wellness leader.
Yes,
And they would
champion leaders or something. Yeah. So we're supposed to have a breakfast once we know, we're supposed to get like 20 staff members, 3 from each campus, and then other people, and then we're supposed to have a breakfast, so she can explain to us exactly what we need to do, download the app. I signed myself for one of the, one of the leaders.
So it starts in January, that means in December, we have to
everything.
I want to say it starts January 8th or 9th or.
So I guess then I was pushing the date for January or February, to have a January, meeting, but I think we're gonna have to have a December meeting.
Well, especially if we're gonna be talking about, or for the parent, or not, for the conference.
Well, even for the parent, if they have any ideas they want to present. Right, don't you think, Mr. Clark? Could we do it the second Tuesday of the month?
We,
Oh, that's board meeting.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Other than things.
I don't think Tuesdays work because there's also city commissioner meetings.
Okay.
So I won't.
Other than things about it's time Texas that if you register early, you get an additional.
Yeah, and they've already, because they already sent the email out for Coco Plumpkin. She's like,
Let's do December 6th. Can we do December 6th?
6 is a Tuesday.
Oh, you said you have a commissioners meeting?
I go, but I don't have.
No.
You know what I'm saying, wrong.
Let's do December 5th.
I have something, I have a toddler's literacy night.
Okay.
We can do December 6th.
Let's go December 8th.
I have a conference. But I mean, that's okay, y'all can have it with me.
No,
but I was-
let's do 6, you gotta be here.
Do we have anything, sir, on the 6th? In our calendar by any chance? Do we have anything on the 6th?
Let me go grab it.
Just to make sure. We don't want to.
Anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to, something that kind of stuck with me, I attended a conference personally regarding safety and security. And one of the presenters were talking about students' safety surveys. So, we want to help our students in the community, but there's how do we know what are they thinking? So my question was, does the district implement surveys to maybe more like high school, middle school?
We implement surveys for our staff, but I have not, and maybe I may be wrong, and maybe you remember here, but we have not surveyed our students.
It was something that caught my eye. It was actually some psychiatrists for children that are working with, I want to say PSJA,
Okay.
that they're gonna pilot that with them. And it was just interesting to me because, okay, yes, we want to help, but how do we really know, how are they really feeling? How safe are they in school?
And we make decisions.
How safe do we feel? I'm sorry.
We think we know our kids, but we really may not know.
It's a different role.
And what is this called now?
I can follow back up with you on the actual name for it. I can't remember, but I can reach out to one of the doctors and ask for their
Information?
yes.
And your name is?
Crystal.
It's a really good idea, and also will make them feel empowered.
Yes.
Make them feel like that they have a voice.
No, and it goes with the whole, you see something, you say something, you better, and it just empowers them.
Yeah, and maybe they'll give more honest feedback, and maybe they're afraid to talk to right or, and it could just cover them.
Yeah.
You could probably make your character strong.
Do you, any other topics that you want to discuss? We're trying to stay within an hour.
Our Lady of the Lake University, they offer counseling service. I know they have some graduate programs there that they have to complete their hours, and it's for free marriage counseling, any type of counseling for our staff. I know that the district's already working with them, so I know that's something that the SHAC, with mental wellness and all that,
Okay.
for the parents or for the community, for the teachers, for.
Okay, that's something maybe I can bring additional information to. Okay.
And they're local, they're right there.
And what else they could provide for us? Do y'all have any other questions or concerns at this time? It was a productive meeting again, even though I'm sorry that I called it a short meeting. Are we ready to adjourn? Yes? Adjourn? Yes.
Can I just verify the next meeting is December the 6th?
Oh, yes, December 6th.
Our Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'll